Adrian Smude here with Lifestyle REI, and today I want to talk about yard signs. Some people call them bandit signs because some areas don't like them. We're not going to talk about any marketing strategies within putting them out, what's legal, what's not legal. I want to talk about the actual wording on the signs and some tips I've learned the hard way, I've learned from other people. So let's look at my classic sign. This is the sign that I used a lot. We were putting about 50 of them out every single week, I believe for like 3 or 4 years. So it was a long time. But let's look at how it got to this point. Obviously this one's got some paint on it, it's a little older. I'm not actively putting signs out for this type of marketing, although I am thinking about going back to it. It can work. Let's look at why I got to this. So this is actually printed on here. It's gonna be hard to see from the video, but it's printed on there because we started spending a little bit more money. First we hand wrote them, but this is actually handwriting, took a picture of it and started printing that. And it's just the black. So you can see the phone number is pretty large. It's taking up the whole space here. If I had the full size sign, I would have the exact same amount of stuff on it. I want it to be very easy to see from a distance. I want the phone number to be large. It could even be a little bit larger than this. If you have an area that there's only one area code, where I'm at, we have multiple area codes around here. So we've got to have the area code the same size. But if you're in an area that there's only one area code, make the area code smaller. Maybe even put it vertical, so 813. You could do that to save space so you can put your phone number larger. This is one of the most important parts of it. When I would handwrite them, this is actually where I started, is with the phone number. So you want to get that on there first. So then we got Aaron buys mobile homes. Very simple. Why do I have Aaron at an angle here? It kind of breaks it up. It makes it easier on the eyes to see it. It's not just straight lines across. So we want to make that a little bit easier, more appealing to the eye. Eye-catching is also why we have the colors there. But this is just easier. I know it's a very simple thing, but it fits a little bit easier. Maybe allows us to center this up a little bit more. And then we have buys. All of the important information is in black. We use the green to break up the colors a little bit. So again, it's easier to read. It stands out. And the green though fades. It'll fade faster. All the colors will fade faster than black. When we were writing them, we were using a pilot marker. Pilot markers, you can buy them all the big box stores, Amazon, everything. The black, it's actually paint. So if you get it on your stuff, it's not coming off. You use Sharpies. There's all different Sharpies, sizes and everything, but large. You want your text to be large. I see so many times people just use like the regular Sharpie, the small skinny one that you would use on a regular piece of paper. Do you really think you can see that from a distance? No. We need it to be large. We need it to be spaced out well. If we were going to put other information on here, we'll actually talk about that when I show you a sign for rent, because those are a little different. We want to get as much information on there as possible without making it overwhelmed. Because remember, somebody's going to have maybe a few seconds, maybe a minute or so at a traffic light, and they're going to have to see it from 2, 3, 4, 7 cars back. So you want it to be easy. Get that phone number. That's the most important part. So that is my classic sign. But let's look at some other signs here. This is another style. This is from one of my friends, DL. Oh, and nope, we got it the right way up. She put the phone number on top. I like it. It's different. Everyone puts their phone number on the bottom. It's different. And really, this is the pink is what's printed. And then it left the white is a see-through of the back. But you can see again, we buy mobile homes. We buy houses, land, or mobile homes. It's got all three on there. Not bad. As is, so she's telling people as is. Cash or terms. Honestly, I wouldn't like the word terms because the general public doesn't always know that. So if I'm gonna be super critiquing here, I would take something off here. I personally don't put cash in my marketing anymore because I want my sellers to be set up that we don't always pay cash because we give multiple types of offers. That's another video, another day. But if you're only cash, then yeah, put it on there. As is, that's good. Again, there's all three here. It's not bad, but I did eventually go down to one single niche. I know she did get calls from the signs. But you can see large text. This is printed. This is easy to read from a distance. I like the bright color. I don't believe these faded either because of the color. Even if it did fade, it's going from a pink to a pink. Maybe a hot pink like it is to a faded pink. And the other nice thing is you print them like this, you can do double-sided. With this one, it's more difficult to be double-sided with the marker because it bleeds through too much, and also with the yellow signs, although that's the classic signs, they tend to show the wording through. When you do the entire thing and leave the white, or in this case it would be yellow, on the background, it doesn't bleed through. When I say bleed through, like when the sun is shining on it, that you see what's going on the other side, and that makes it difficult to read all this. We were putting a zigzag on the back of them just to prevent people, because every once in a while you'd see that people would take your sign and then they'd write stuff on the other side of it, maybe spray paint this side. We just wanted to prevent that as much as possible. You know, we want them to stick and stay as long as possible. All right, so that is signs for buying. Let's talk about signs for rent, because those can still work. They are a little bit different. We've got a classic sign that you can go and buy anywhere, and it says for rent. We use these here and there, honestly only whenever like they're kind of given to us or we find them really cheap. You can see info on front window. That is just not much on it is what we have going on there. And we'll use these maybe for in the yard. We want people to get out. That's a whole nother topic, entire class to teach about the landlord process. But you could buy these. Again, you're not gonna have a lot of space to put in here of information. And these are double-sided, that can be good as well. Let's look though, what would I put on a sign? So I'm gonna start with a blank sign, and I'm gonna write one up. So this is going to be for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home with the land. And again, I'm gonna start with the phone number. I don't honestly remember our phone number, so I'm just gonna put a generic phone number down. So I'm gonna put 888. Now you see, I have like 3-4 different phone numbers locally. So I've got to put my, area codes locally. So I've got to put my area code nice and big. Now look at this. I didn't space real well, so this back 4 are a little scrunched together. That's not that really good. I would have rather these be a little bit smaller and these be larger, because people know out of the 2, 3, 4 area codes in your area, they can get that a little bit easier. This is always going to change. So if we did this perfectly, this would have been the same size as this, maybe this a little bit smaller. But you see, I was still trying to make my middle numbers here larger than here, because that's the most important. All right, we're gonna say, we said this is a 3-2. I like to put that up in the corner, kind of at an angle, just like I had Aaron at an angle earlier. It kind of breaks it up, you'll see. This is going to be, then we put mobile home up here. I put mobile home, it kind of filters out some of the people that are just, nope, I am not gonna live in a mobile home. Again, because I haven't written these in a while, I squished that together a little bit too much. This should all be one in a better spacing. And then I'm going to put, my spelling got bad there, but 1/4 acre. I could put private lot, fenced lot. That gets a little tight size-wise, but I'm putting that there because I want to give at least one little detail about the place, and I believe that's an important one for my customers, because they want to know, is it lot rent or not lot rent? And that kind of would tell them it's not. The price, I want to get that on there because that kind of will disqualify some people or let them see, hey, this is the price of it. And then I like to add a little color to these as well. All right, you can see the green is dying. We gotta throw that one away. But I put a green right there, and then just some lines. You see how this kind of breaks it up, makes it very small, bite sizes, pieces of information. We could probably force one more thing right here, or if I would have done it a little bit better, maybe put the 1/4 acre right there, or maybe I would have taken the time to put private fenced yard or something like that. We don't want to overwhelm this, but we still want to get some information on here. Another thing I'm looking at now I could have done is slide this over a little bit more, put mobile home, and then put the vertical. There's lots of different ways you can do it, as you can see. The concept here is it needs to be easy to read. It needs to be broken up into bite-sized pieces around. The color really helps break it up for the eyes. And large phone number. That's one of your most important pieces of it. And then just keep trying. We do a few different ones sometimes, put them out in the road, see which one maybe gets the phone call. If you have multiple numbers, you can obviously test that way. My point of the video today was don't make them super tiny, the wording. I mean, you need a big, thick marker, the king size or the pilot markers. You also don't want to overcrowd it where it's so much I can't read it. Visually appealing, the colors help a lot. I mean, it's just a few bucks extra. It does take more time, but I believe it's worth it, and you don't have to get as many. Your phone number, obviously, we talked about the area code. If you're in a market that doesn't have a multiple, put it real small. I love any feedback. I want to know what's working for you, what's not working for you, what other tips do you have. Share with people, and we will see you on the next training video. Any more information, lifestylrei.com. Go there. We have more education. Subscribe to our newsletters. We have even more in-depth trainings like this. Thank you, and make today fantastic.